It's Couched with Carson Kressley, the world's first interior design talk show, brought to you by the High Point Furniture Market. Our designer guests include Southern-styled extraordinaire Lee Robinson and visionary CEO and furniture connoisseur Mark Phillips. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Carson!
Oh, hi! Oh, hi, everybody! Look at you guys! Thank you! I keep waiting for there to be a bam at the end, but that was amazing. Welcome to Couched. I'm Carson Kressley. Look, my name's on the wall, and it's the design show where we meet interior designers. We talk about their inspiration, what makes them tick, and we get inspired. So without further ado, shall we hit it? This is new. That's new. Okay. Hey everybody, our first guest on this episode of Couch is a friend of mine. I consider myself almost a Kentuckian. He's a Kentucky-based interior designer with a very distinct Southern style. He does the whole shebang. He's a builder, a renovator, a designer, and a decorator, which some designers don't like to be called, but I think he does. And he considers himself a lifestyle curator. So please welcome to the Couch stage, my friend, Lee Robinson. Hi, Lee.
Hey, y'all. How
are you? Come on
Where
up.
do you want me? Up
Right here, right here.
Perfect.
Good to see
Good
you.
to see you.
Have
I'll
a
get to sit on the lips.
You could.
Okay, perfect.
This chair is very Hervé Leger with
Yes.
the nylon tape. How are you?
I'm fine. I might be taking this chair with me. I love this
Do you
thing.
like that? Yes.
I'm afraid I might become attached, literally.
You could. It's possible. You could get tangled up in there.
Yeah.
I've known you for a long time.
Right.
I was a guest at your house for the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
Your house is so gorgeous.
Thank you.
And did I read that it was like 6 generations?
Our children are the 6th generation in that house.
Wow.
Yeah, it was built by my wife's great-grandparents on property owned by her great-great-grandparents.
And it's in Louisville, Kentucky.
In Louisville, overlooking the river. Ogden Codman was the architect, and Olmsted did all the gardens. So,
Olmsted. So basically the person who designed Central Park did did your yard.
He escaped New York and came to Louisville. Yes, at least once.
And your family actually hired him, and he
yeah.
Wow.
The family actually were business partners in New York of J.P. Morgan and some of those people. So I think Codman had done like the breakers for the Vanderbilts and Kikett for the Rockefellers and things. And I guess back then it was a smaller world.
Right.
So they just knew what they liked and brought him down to Louisville.
And have you renovated it and made it,
Yeah.
Actually, updated it obviously?
I have.
Now.
Actually, the house is half the size of its original.
Okay.
It used to have a 3rd floor with a ballroom and a hunting lodge room. And
yeah, we don't really
need that
ballrooms anymore. No, it's a modern living.
Exactly. But we did keep the bar.
Oh, well, of course. And that's a very Southern thing, So
my God.
I do remember distinctly the Southern hospitality at your house, and I think that's a trademark of your design. Would you say you have a Southern flair?
I would say Southern flair would be an understatement. I mean, with this accent, Southern is just ingrained in everything, from my food that we serve to the drinks we serve. I always believe everyone should have a linen room and should have a silver room lined with Pacific cloth.
Oh, what is
that's
that?
the felt
that
makes your silver not tarnish.
Okay, like pool table felt?
Yes,
like that?
Except it's treated. And you can buy it on Amazon, and I install it in a closet like wallpaper.
Okay.
So that's another little trick, and you never have to shine your silver. Put all the julep cups in there, take them out when you use them. So
see, it's an educational program, people. We have some pictures. I know you did. I want to talk about this use of color too, because you have fun with that. It's such a beige world out there.
Now that is the Kips Bay Show House in Palm Beach.
Right.
So that is not my house or a house that I did for a client.
When was this though? Is this coming up?
This was 2019.
Okay.
And do you see the bird cage? I thought,
I do. Is that a light fixture or it's
there's
just
a light
for fun?
fixture, but no, there's actual birds, and they're named, Sister Parish, Mario Boada, All my little parakeets in there.
Right.
Yeah, I had an Elsie DeWolf.
Really? So you had live birds in there.
Live
for
birds,
the
and that's
show
a
house.
fountain below with the orchids.
And what is that rug? It looked like it was like tiger or something.
The rug company, actually I designed that. That's coral because it's Palm Beach.
Okay, got it.
And then Schumacher was kind enough to send those Miles Red chinoiserie pattern
Are those
panels.
the panels?
And then
Okay.
that's the Mary McDonald fabric that's upholstered on the walls. And then
Right.
I brought a lot of things from my house.
So you upholstered the walls.
I upholstered the walls.
That's an unusual thing that not many people do. How does that work?
Well, it's interesting. You have to get the fabric backed, and then you literally just have a wallpaper person go in there. Now, sometimes if you bat the walls, that means put the
So there's like
the fluffy-
foam behind it.
Yeah. I don't do that any longer because that's kind of dated, I think.
Okay. I have a powder room in New York where it's like upholstered in like Ralph Lauren zebra.
Oh, yeah.
And it has the batting, and people love it because you can bounce around in there.
Well, Carson, if anyone needed a padded room, it would be you.
I think you're right. And let's move on to the next one because this show house is fantastic. There's another one after
Now,
this.
see the tinted ceiling? We did that, and
Right.
that was a challenge, getting someone on a ladder that was 2 stories.
Right, right.
So, you know, we've always done work wherever the friends are. So from New York to Palm Beach to, you know.
How do you find your clients? All word of mouth?
It's like you, dinner parties, someone's getting a divorce, this person says, oh, you should call. And plus the Derby's so wonderful. I've had so
Right.
many people from all over the country
Yeah.
come in for Derby.
The Kentucky Derby is great for so many reasons. First of all, it's, there's the horse racing, there's the food, there's the clothes, there's the hats, but also, I think when people think of Kentucky, they think of like Abraham Lincoln's birthplace in a log cabin, or like, they don't think about that there are big cities like Louisville, Kentucky, which you have to swallow the Ville. Louisville,
Kentucky.
And sometimes you'll also see, there might be a house that has woodwork. And my house in Pennsylvania had a lot of paneling, and it was like dark, and it was walnut. It made all the rooms dark, and this is lacquered, so it's reflective and it's light, even though it's a dark color.
And this is a younger couple, so.
But everybody said, you can't paint the wood, that'd be, blasphemy.
Oh, the hell you can't.
Of course you can paint paneling. I know it's beautiful wood, but sometimes it's gonna be more beautiful if you update it in a gorgeous color.
And even the horrible paneling that you would see in the 70s.
Right.
That horrible stuff, just lacquer it. And here's what's so interesting. I'm getting ready to reintroduce my paint line, and I've got a lacquer paint that's coming out.
Okay.
So you can do it yourself.
Great.
So, I mean, literally, you can take that god-awful paneling that's all vertical.
1970s wood paneling.
And put lacquer paint on it, and it gives it a fresh new take.
Right, and it almost gives you like a shiplap look.
It
You can do
does.
it in the neutral, or you can do this kind of glamorous, men's study if you do it in like a rich red or a cobalt or an emerald. So if people want to hire you, if they want to follow you to be inspired, if they want to like buy your home fragrance, where do they find you?
Okay, well, first of all, you go to my website, and it's very easy to find me, Lee W. Robinson. And then go to my Instagram, and you'll see this mug, so that'll be the
Look
giveaway.
for the gorgeous interiors, and you'll find Lee
you're
Robinson.
sweet. You are sweet.
Thank you so much. It's always
You're
great
so
to see
welcome.
you.
Good to see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lee Robinson, and we'll
Thank
be right
you.
back with another amazing guest. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Couched. It's me, Carson Kressley, and I'm very excited. We have the president with us today. Well, actually, the president of Phillips Collection, one of my favorite design resources. They are an internationally known company, an award-winning furniture brand. And our guest is the CEO and president. He's a businessman, a father, and I think really a storyteller. So let's bring out my friend, Mark Phillips. Hello. Oh, look at you.
Thank you.
Come
Thank
on
you
up
so much.
here. I think you know this chair.
I'm familiar with
Thanks
this chair.
for
Nice to see
coming.
you again.
Look at you. Wow. Look at those shoes.
I needed something Carson worthy.
Those are really, I'm all like, conservative, and look at you with the metallic rainbow shoes. They're amazing.
Thank you.
And the jacket, look at
A
you.
little true to High Point University.
Yeah, and the purple.
Supporting our local institutions.
I love it. Yeah, I always think of you. I know you live in Greensboro, North Carolina, but I feel like you're like a world traveler. You're like the Jacques Cousteau, or like the is it David Attenborough of like design, because you're always going to incredible places to find these amazing things. We have so much on set today from your company, and even our set design, these big giant, I don't even know what that is, or where that's from, but it all came from Phillips Company.
It did indeed.
Phillips Collection.
Phillips Collection, and that, in fact, is a great green story.
Yeah.
This is a product we call Chainsaw.
Oh, this one, yes.
This particular one, and it's interesting. When we source products, we'll sometimes get the trunk of a tree. We never require that a tree be cut down when roads are widened, schools are being built, or hospitals are being built.
Okay.
We buy the cleared trees,
Good
and we
for
take
you.
what we can get, and we celebrate the defects and problems. It's easy to
I
use.
do the same with my face. I want to show, we have a great clip actually, because
Great, that'll show.
You're like, when I think of like, I was thinking about this earlier, Phillips Collection, it's not even, I was going to say they're whimsical pieces, but they're beyond that. Whimsical is like a checkerboard teapot. You guys do like these amazing, magical, conversation-starting pieces that make a space. And I think we have a clip of you and is it your son, right?
Our tagline is every piece a conversation, and it's something that is part of our DNA. That means that every piece has a history behind it. When people see it in a home, they ask, where did this come from? What's the genesis? And we like to share that story. Sometimes the story is as simple as just explaining where we went to get it. So it's that conversation that we want to generate. We don't want to just bring furniture to market. We want to bring something significant into people's homes.
I love to explore. I love to unearth. I love the education that nature is giving me. We have to dig deep to find the essence. And in partnership with our talented designers, we can coax this beauty out of the world.
The veining of a tree, the spiraling of a mollusk shell, the way that geodes form over millennia. Great design surrounds us, and we love to pull that from nature. We want our products to bring a smile to people's faces. We want them to say, how did that happen? How did that come about? We want to tell a story.
I love that video. First of all, congratulations, it's beautiful. But I think it really explains that you guys, travel the ends of the earth to find these amazing pieces that aren't just great design and aren't just great pieces of nature, but they're the conversation starter of a room. What are some of the most amazing places you've been?
Going to the mines of Brazil is quite exciting.
Yeah, and is that like in the jungle somewhere, or where do you go in Brazil?
It's far south in Brazil, in a mountainous area. Interestingly, amethyst is found always at 700 feet of altitude in all of the neighboring young mountains. And so we go into these mines that are dynamited away, and we discover these protrusions and jackhammer them out and bring them back to the factory, polish them, and then courageously slice them, hoping that we've not broken into any of what nature has formed.
And how did you start your company? Were you already doing this, and then you were like, we should monetize this?
I came from a different world.
Okay.
The quick story is I ran a hi-fi and video company in South Florida.
Okay.
My father and mother were dealers of ancient Southeast Asian Buddhist and Hindu sculpture.
Okay.
And they asked me to take a trip with them and see what they were doing, and it was fabulous. Taking a year of absence from my other job, I was in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Bali, Thailand, and I was smitten with the travel and the opportunity, and it was clear that that was the path I was going to take.
Okay. Can people buy your stuff in regular stores? Where do we find it?
We have lovely dealer partners throughout. Our best partner is right here at Furnitureland South in High Point, which has the whole line and takes advantage of our warehousing. We have 400,000 feet of treasures, and it's accessible through our partners.
And can people look at it online, or they have to go to Furnitureland South or another vendor or an interior designer?
They can look online. We have an extensive, very user-friendly website called phillipscollection.com.
Okay.
No magic there. You can see our videos and understand the path we take to bring these products to real life.
Well, we are going to hear the stories behind some of these amazing pieces we have on set. We're going to play a little game. We're going to be right back. And Lee Robinson's going to join us again.
Fantastic.
And don't go anywhere. Wow, give it up for Roy and Cookie bringing us back from our break. Thank you. Now, welcome back to Couch. We have our two amazing guests, Lee Robinson and Mark Phillips, and we're going to play a little game. It's called Origin Stories, and every Phillips Collection furniture piece is meant to be a conversation starter. And you are no stranger, Mark, to storytelling. I think that's kind of what you do with every piece in your collection. So you are going to be tasked with pitching an origin story to Lee and myself. And we're going to have to try and figure out if he's fibbing. And it's not really the origin story at all, or if it's true. So it's kind of like true or false.
Yeah, I love that.
But with, you know, sculptures. So, and then, you know, we'll see who gets it right.
And what do we win?
You win, what do they win? You win this this orb. Oh, that was
lovely.
Yeah,
I think you just run the orb.
It's a dinosaur's gallstone. So we'll put that right there.
You have the story, so we'll...
Okay, so let's start. Mark, let us have it.
All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this.
Okay.
This is the root of a teakwood tree.
I believe that.
I believe that too.
And it was long ago felled and was just a blight on the farm side and made the land unusable.
Okay.
So we dug the perimeter of the root that we found attractive, and we tried to cut it with a chainsaw to be able to remove it. But there were lots of rocks intertwined between these roots.
Okay.
And every time the chainsaw hit a rock, it broke the chainsaw.
Okay.
So the solution, of course, was to go out and buy a fire truck.
Of course,
well, that makes perfect sense.
So we actually went out and bought a fire truck, a decommissioned Toyota 2-man pumper. And when we harvest teakwood roots, we go with a fire truck, blast away the rocks, and are able, with high-powered water, and then we're able to cut it out, move it back to the factory, and perfect it.
So you polish it back in the factory?
We polish it back in the factory, but of course we need fire trucks to do this.
What do you think, Lee?
Teak makes sense.
I believe that.
I believe the story. I don't know about the fire truck story, but
I feel like Mariska Hargitay on CSI. The fire truck story is too cuckoo bananas to have been made up.
Yeah.
So I think
this is true.
I think that makes sense. We think it's true.
It's a true story.
Yay! We won! We're gonna get that orb.
Yes, can't wait.
Let's move on to some of these pieces right here.
Well, the orb is made of petrified wood.
I believe that.
It's 10 million years old.
Okay.
And the way that petrified wood is formed, it's actual real wood, but it is exposed to such dramatic, rapid, climactic changes that the character of the wood actually gets petrified. It's frightened by the changes of the climate, and it forms this hardened shell. So this is how we have developed petrified wood products.
Well, when I get frightened, I form a hardened shell, so that makes sense.
I believe this is petrified wood. How do you get it to be a sphere?
We polish it. It's a little more brittle than the normal wood, but it's dense and it is...
It almost feels like marble.
It does. It's beautiful.
You know, I can't tell though. Are we being taken here?
I think this sounds like a real story.
Okay.
I feel like that's a true story.
Well, it's not an entirely true story.
It
is petrified wood, but it isn't afraid of the climate. Actually, when a tree falls and it's covered with lava or something to keep it from being oxidized, over thousands and even millions of years, water flows and replaces the cellular material of the tree with stones and other elements. So this had carbon going through it and quartz to develop the
know all this,
He's
Mark?
like Mr. Wizard.
I mean, he is.
So this is
Like
not a rapid freeze frighten process, but a very long sculpting by nature. Then when we have the material, we cut it into usable forms.
That was like a trick question.
Yeah, right?
tricky.
I kind of thought so.
Are we talking about these wooden pieces as well?
I can tell you about these wood pieces.
Or were these just to support the orb?
No, this has its own, every piece of conversation. I have to be true to that.
Look at this. So what is it, first of all?
So we saw a lightning strike a tree, and it formed the most incredible pattern. So we said we have to figure out how to do this on smaller pieces. And we actually, this is mango wood from the north of Thailand. and we actually ran a conductive material on it and then took a very high voltage anode and cathode and put it at either end and electrocuted the wood.
My goodness,
and
so
believe it or
aggressive.
not, the path that the current took follows the exact shape of the tree. The DNA of the tree is displayed in the path that the electricity took running current through it.
Now it's getting all crazy up in here.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It sounds a little Dr. Frankenstein-like. I mean, you actually buy all that equipment to do this?
We have, it's not very complicated equipment. You just have to run a voltage through it in a conductive fluid, but it's the story is that it recreates the shape of the tree itself.
I have this same pattern on my thigh, a varicose vein.
Have a doctor for that.
I feel like, what do you think, Lee?
You know, I don't know. I want to believe the story, but I'm going to say this one might not be true.
I think this is true.
You do?
I feel like this looks like an electrical current running through the wood.
It does. It looks like a
burned it.
tool, though. Maybe could have been used.
Do you think a tool was used?
No, I don't know. You're probably right.
Sock it to us. What's the real
Entirely
story?
true story.
Oh my gosh.
This is the pattern that it wants to form is the imprint of its DNA.
And when you said it's the image of the tree, you mean the tree looked like this?
The tree looked like that.
What?
The root structure of the tree.
That's crazy.
It's just amazing what data is
That's
carried
a fun
in
arts
this
and
little
craft
cell.
project.
Right.
The trick was to coax it out, and we figured out a way by watching nature
You're amazing.
do this.
Let's move on to my favorite.
I
I'm gonna
love
have
the
you
horsey.
step around so we can see it over here. I think I need to have this.
He's so cute.
Tell us about this guy.
We discovered an artist in Indonesia who has never not won first prize in his artistry.
Okay.
We take stainless steel pipe, often used in surgical application, and weld every one of these pieces together. It's actually done in a mold on two sides and then put together. There are 5,000 welds. It's a spectacular piece, and it works outdoors as well as
How long does this take to do this?
It takes weeks and weeks of a team to do this. But the outcome is, the result is phenomenal.
So this is an original piece of art.
Well, we have more of them because we've now created the structure that models it. Each one's going to be a little different.
Each one varies a bit.
And we have a rearing horse and a galloping horse and a walking horse.
So what are we believing here?
That we welded each one of these pieces together in a mold, and that it is recreatable.
I totally believe that.
These don't look like they're welded. Well, maybe.
Well, but look
You see
here.
the subtle tack?
I see them,
And
yeah.
see the mane?
The mane, definitely. Okay, what do you think? True?
I think true.
I think true.
That's a true story.
Oh gosh, we're so smart, Lee.
We are geniuses.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. And then last but not least, I love this. This looks like a lady to me.
You're exactly right.
And very kind of giacometti, maybe?
It is giacometti, yeah.
And so what's the story here?
Well, first I have to do a quick brag. Last night were the Pinnacle Awards, where the International Society of Furniture Designers vote on the products.
Yeah.
This won the best accessory offered. So we were very proud to have a Pinnacle Award. And here is my story.
Okay.
Where the tectonic plates collide in Indonesia. These stones splinter off. And they look exactly like this. And in partnership with our Indonesian artisans, they sculpt the symbols of the proud women going back after a day of work with their head held high in a family. And we actually have 6 of these figures that go, and sometimes we'll portray them in a circle. But these were originally about 2,000 pounds each, but again, with our skills in casting, these are now 200 pounds.
Oh, that's perfect.
Work indoor
it's not really
and out.
stone.
It's not stone.
Is this fiberglass?
It's fiberglass.
Look, it's like I have superhuman strength. Like I could lift a car off of a baby.
Twice you've been able to do that.
These are great.
And we are putting real stone in the finish so that it has the feel, the coldness of a stone, not the inert feel that a plastic would have.
I feel like that story is true.
And these are working women? I mean,
These are, at the end of the day of work, they proudly
they must have worked their arms and hands to
off completely.
Yeah, right.
They're so tall.
Hard-working women.
Maybe they're supermodels.
Yes, I like that. I believe this. I know that it's not real stone, but I believe.
I believe the story of the inspiration.
Yeah, I do too.
The story is true.
Right?
The story is true. It is true.
Yeah.
That's
Tectonic plates and all.
Wow. So I think we were right most of the time, right?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're definitely taking
the sphere.
We're taking the orb home. For more information on Phillips Collection, they can go to
phillipscollection.com.
You can see all of this great stuff, and of course you can find Lee W. Robinson online at all social media. Thanks for watching Couched. We'll see you next time on the sofa.
Say yeah.